Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with some just announced physical releases. These are games that have recently been announced, they are not releasing this week, and as always, I do not do limited game pre-order stuff since that's always covered in Monday's video and there's no point repeating myself. So let's take a look at what's recently been announced. Demonschool is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch on November the 6th, and this is a very welcome announcement because it is an indie game that was super hyped at one point. I think when it did eventually release digitally, it lost a bit of momentum, but a sweet physical release will bring it back up for sure. And it is a tactical RPG with a Shin Megami Tensei cross Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibe to it, which is a winner in my books. It looks great, one to look forward to physically. Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch 2 on the 6th of November as a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, so it will play on your original Switch as well. The sequel to a well-regarded game that looks a bit too cerebral for my brain to understand, a bit old school in its RPG approach, taking it a bit more literally and Western-like. This one is equally well loved and adds even more wonderful looking production value to, the product. And it's nice to see this being added to the Switch 2's physical library. Another proper cartridge. I've added it to my database, which I will link down below if you want to bookmark it. Citizen Sleeper 1 and 2 Helion Collection. Well, this is one for PS5 owners since you guys are getting a double pack of the first game and the second game together. I don't believe PlayStation got the first game individually, so this is a good way to get people up to speed. And this is releasing on the same day as the Switch 2 physical, November the 6th. And by the way, if you want to order it or anything else included in this video, then please consider using the links I put down below in the description pinned comment. I've linked to a few stores where applicable, and any purchase made via a link helps support me and this channel in the best way possible. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you appreciate what I do, consider using the links to support. Broken Sword 2 Smoking Mirror Reforged is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 in North America, while Europe is also getting an Xbox physical. This is coming February the 19th. Now, I did make a video about this when it was announced, and that included details about the European exclusive deluxe edition. I warned everyone it would sell out quickly, and on the Switch it has already sold out. If you missed it, I'm sorry. You're not going to get that classic artwork. However, since that video, the North American pre-orders have opened for the standard editions at VGP, and I can't wait for this one. Qliphah in Providence's Shadow. Okay, this is quite annoying because after a few weeks of this being a European exclusive Red Art Games title, PM Studios decided to be the Johnny-come-latelys and do a North American physical as well. If you are North American and you pre-ordered the European version under the impression it was exclusive there, I am sorry if I played a part in that confusion. The European version is slightly more special, but of course slightly more pricier, especially if you're importing it into America. But either way, now you know, and you can pre-order the North American Standard Edition on PlayStation 5 and Switch September the 24th. Damon and Baby is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch and PS5 sometime in the future, with currently no solid release date. This is a top-down action game developed by Arc System Works, a bit like Zelda but with a bit more twin-stick shooting. Most people consider this to be a bit simple but a fun time. Don't go in expecting anything too deep or genre-defying, just a solid title if you're into these sorts of games, and it's supposed to be a decent length as well. Soma is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch for sure in Europe. At the time of making this video, I'm not 100% sure on the North American status. I only say this because Lootbox Gaming, a US-based company, are selling the European version, so I guess that could mean it is unlikely, or at least not close to happening, and I believe this stock is extra stock left over from the Kickstarter campaign. This is a horror game that some people think is the best of the best in a long time, or severely overrated. Opinions all over the place on this one, but there's going to be a lot of happy people out there for sure. If you want to order from Lootbox Gaming, you can do so via the links below, and if you click my link, and if your order is over $200, you can get 5% off with my code PARADISE. But click my link first, okay? Aquamarine Explorers Edition. This is apparently a turn-based playable comic book about surviving on an alien ocean. When the Sumerians were carving the very first written language into stones, at no point would they have ever thought those combination of words would ever be put together. A weird looking game, I have to say, and it has mixed reviews mainly due to it not providing what it promised. This PS5 physical release is coming later this year and is a European exclusive, and although the game doesn't look the greatest, I do love the box art for it, and it comes with some nice bonus goodies. Super Bomberman Collection Update. Yes, this is not a new game announcement, but an update on an already announced game, one that I am hyped about because you may remember I chatted about this release in my hyped physicals video where there's been a recent update to the collection to add a new game called Panic Bomber W, and I questioned whether this update would be on the physicals, which surely should be entering production by now, so there's a chance, but there was also not a chance. However, now I have an answer. Panic Bomber W will be included on the physicals for Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox, but, a big but, not on the original Switch. I guess production was too far along for that, so if you want a more complete version with an extra bonus game, then purchase either the PS5 physical, the Xbox physical, which is in Europe only, or the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. In North America, that is exclusive to Video Games Plus. In Europe, that is exclusive to redartgames.com. I've linked where you can find it. Alright, let's take a look at some recent import announcements. These are games that so far only have an Asian or Japanese release with English unless otherwise stated, but since there's always time, keep in mind, a Western physical could be announced at any point really. And remember, you can order most of these from PlayAsia and get 5% off with my code Jordan2026, but you must use my link first. And if that still doesn't work, use my imports database link, that should work. And also some of them will be available at VGP2. I've linked to where applicable. Stray Children, oh man, this is like a dream come true. A spiritual successor to Moon, one of my favorite games, has been announced to be getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch in Japan in December. Now, although the Japanese eShop only states Japanese as a language, the publisher on Twitter has stated that it will be playable in English, and my lord, this treasure box edition is more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. The game is a quirky adventure game, quite old school and experimental. I absolutely love the art style here, and it's something a bit different. Moon was considered to be a bit of a progenitor to Undertale, and this modern game follows that too. Supposedly very lovely, a bit obtuse. I've been waiting for the physical and now it's coming. The treasure box edition is beautiful. It has a map, a soundtrack CD, a keychain, and a book. They also stated that they don't have anything to say about a Western release for this treasure box edition. Now, that doesn't mean they won't be doing a standard edition. That's still on the table. I guess limited run could do it. They did Moon, so yeah, that could happen, but if you don't care about where your games are from, you just care about having the game and you want the treasure box edition, oh man, I'm really looking forward to this. Touhou, Shoujo, Tale of Beautiful Memories, a double dream here. I wanted Stray Children, but I also wanted this. In fact, the timing is quite insane. Last week, I sent a list of games to PlayAsia's product manager suggesting games for them to do, either exclusives or first print editions or translating titles, and this game was on that list. Lo and behold, a week later, a Japanese physical pops up in a standard and limited edition. Now, the game doesn't look like much, but it is a Touhou game that's basically like Super Mario RPG, which sounds fantastic. It's not perfect, but it is bloody charming, and I've wanted it for a long time, and it's coming physically October 29th, and it will play in English. Kuukiyomi 4, consider it, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition Plus. Wow, a Nintendo Switch 2 Edition Plus. What does that mean? Who knows? I'm guessing Nintendo don't know either, because this is a quirky franchise that follows no rules. Well, aside from making you follow rules of etiquette, it's a bit like WarioWare, but about being polite, something like that. There is a triple pack on the Switch, but this is a new fourth game in the series. It will play in English, at least the main game will. I think it comes with a bonus mobile game, which I'm skeptical if that will have English or not. Probably not. Ao Oni 2 is getting a physical release in Japan on Nintendo Switch, and it will have English. The first game is an import exclusive Switch physical, and this is joining it on October the 8th. A weird horror game that I believe is quite old, but this is a modern port, an RPG maker style experience that tries to get all weird and creepy. It is a smaller scale import exclusive and has a very decent price to match. And there we have a bunch of new announcements. What was your favorite in this episode? Let me know in the comments below, alongside your thumbs up, that always helps. And if you want to pre-order any of these, then please do so via the links below. I greatly appreciate that, and I hope you all have a fantastic, wonderful day. Take care.